This is remarkable. Like a secret admirer, Donald Trump has a really special person in his back pocket helping secretly advise him on economic policy, and I couldn't be happier. This is actually a really good thing. We got to cover this. It is huge. I'm just excited about that as I am about all those of you signing up for the Trumponomics course on pre-sale for Black Friday now. Comes with a whole host of benefits, job raise strategies, entities, expense management, taxation, real estate analysis, stock, options, crypto. You want to be a part of this for 2025. Course member live streams, you name it. This is the course, meetkevin.com. A lot of people bundling up, by the way, with some of the add-ons there at the end too. But let's focus on what just happened. First of all, the data. What's the data showing? And then I want to talk about this secret admirer, if you will, of Donald Trump. Donald Trump voters feel very differently about things now that he's won, according to a new poll. A pair of political polls, and we know polls are, what they are, but I like it when the same company does sort of a poll and then another poll at different points in time. They did one poll right before the election and one poll right after the election. And what they found was going into election day, 9 out of 10 voters said that voter fraud was a serious issue. After that, only about 35% thought it was an issue anymore. Kind of interesting, but that same survey, which I actually think matters a lot more, is that after Trump won, Trump supporters were more likely to feel good about the economy. And a lot of folks are suggesting that this sort of economic enthusiasm that's coming now, the perception of the economy here swinging after the Trump win, is a benefit to us potentially being able to avoid that crash of a hard landing or recession. I think of the analogy of a plane landing, as everybody has. I want to think of our economy as being able to pull off a go-around. So you're coming in for a landing. It's like, no, Trump won, hit the boosters, hit thrust. And then you thrust up and you dodge hitting that runway and you take off again. We'd look back and go, okay, 22, 23, 24, there were periods of slowness, rolling recessions, whatever, but we came in and we went around and we took off again, right? That would be differentiated from, no, we're slowing. Can we hit the thrusters? It's not enough. Should be problematic, recessionary. Bullish for robotics. I made a whole video breaking down my thoughts on symbiotic, not symbiotic, I always say that wrong. Symbiotic. That's a game changer one. You got to watch that video. YouTube might not recommend it to you. But Rakuten was just on, they do like reward stuff or whatever. They were just on Bloomberg talking about how after Donald Trump won, they saw a 50% bump in spending. Symbiotic actually said the same thing, that more orders came in after Trump won. But what's really fascinating to me is this potential secret advisor that Donald Trump has had. And this makes me really excited, especially since you can combine this with now Elon and Vivek talking about auditing the IRS, talking about Doge efficiency and efficiency rules, or rather rules for being efficient at Doge. This is very big and very exciting because we're going to be in a place of a lot of change. Now, what it means? Well, we'll have to break that down. That's why we're going to keep doing updates on that Trump course as the year goes on. But look at this. Donald Trump has secretly been communicating with man crush Jamie Dimon. I love Jamie Dimon. This is so exciting. Like, Jamie Dimon has always been very, very politically neutral. He's sort of known for not talking about politics around the office. He's also been somebody who's sort of ruled out wanting to run for president. He's ruled out wanting, to support a candidate. He's also argued in the past against people like Donald Trump. He even went as far as at one point in 2018 suggesting that he was smarter than Donald Trump. I think, though, that it was popular to hate on Trump, previously, even in like 2015 or 18, and people have come around. I mean, even J.D. Vance did, right? But what's remarkable now, and this, like, I just want to think about the future, not the past here, is this, the details here. JP Morgan Chase CEO Jamie Dimon has been communicating with Donald Trump in recent months through secret back channels, helping the president-elect hammer out policy before and since his White House victory. So both leading in and coming out, he's been talking to Trump. Now, one of the reasons he's probably talking to Trump, it certainly doesn't help for the Biden and Harris side, but the White House actually banned Jamie Dimon in February of 2024 from visiting the Oval Office, no more Oval Office invites, because he said some nice things about Trump. Listen to this. This is back from February 2024. Jamie Dimon said that Donald Trump was kind of right and that he's been labeled MAGA curious after he's given respect to Trump. He literally said on CNBC, if you look at, just take a step back and be honest. He's kind of right about things like NATO, a reference to NATO having to actually, NATO member countries actually having to pay their quote unquote fair share, if you will, of your membership dues, if you will. He's kind of right about NATO. Donald Trump saying, hey, look, you don't pay your fair share. You don't get the defense of NATO. Also, kind of right about immigration. Just this morning, we did a video about how, some Democrats are trying to push AOC to be a presidential nom, and that the possible risk of that is you actually take a party that should be moderating and you turn them even more extreme, which is like the opposite of what you want to do. He's kind of right about China. He grew the economy quite well. Tax reform worked. The comments were the death knell to the relationship between Jamie Dimon and Joe Biden. They basically just kicked him out. And so then he hung out with Donald Trump. And I guess now he's secretly advising Donald Trump, being a sounding board for Trump. Keep in mind, I have a lot of respect for Jamie Dimon. I'd love to interview him one day. I think he's brilliant. I think he's pretty good at what he does. And I'm excited to see where things go with this relationship. But look at some of these other things. Jamie Dimon is generally tight-lipped, will not be invited. He's not about prepared to have a boss. Okay, I want to talk about this. You realize this is very much like what you see with Elon Musk and Vivek, is that you have these really sort of wealthy billionaire advisors to Trump that aren't actually under the guise of the White House. So they're not under the limitations that come with politics or politicians, basically. And instead, you're in a position of, okay, here is, somebody like Jamie Dimon, Elon Musk, who can help be in the room, so to speak, with Donald Trump, literally for Elon and back channel for Jamie, and advise. Now, I actually think what this means for us in the future is, these are the implications we have to think about. Jamie Dimon is somebody who is concerned about geopolitics. He's very concerned about ending wars because he thinks those could lead to a big market correction. So remember, he's the guy who says he sees hurricanes and storm clouds on the horizon. A lot of that is not driven by, a lack of consumer spending. We've got plenty of that right now. And that usually does stay strong until you have layoffs. It's actually driven by his concerns over geopolitics. So if Jamie Dimon can push Donald Trump to end foreign wars, what's going on in Israel, although we did just get a ceasefire with Hezbollah, which is great, but we still have to fix Gaza. We have to deal with Iran. We have to deal with Russia. You've got this axis growing. Russia, North Korea, Iran, China to some extent. If the U.S. can form partnerships and alliances in different ways with Russia and Iran, or even North Korea separately, then the U.S. becomes everyone's friend. And you kind of separate and break up that three-party alliance because, Russia and Iran, they compete with each other for selling oil. So there's some interesting plays you can make here. Jamie Dimon's going to push for geopolitical calmness, which is a game changer. This is great. Another thing that he is somewhat worried about is spending, fiscal spending, inflation. I mean, as any banker should be. It's going to affect what happens with treasuries. Now, I actually think, and I don't know this with certainty, but I think that Jamie Dimon is probably somebody who's going to be likely to encourage more stable fiscal spending, lower deficits, so you could stabilize treasury bonds, actually get people to buy American treasury bonds again, and then you end up seeing yields come down, which continues to support the economy. I mean, ever since Besant was chosen, you've seen yields come straight down. TLT has been a great performer since it bottomed out around 89 to 90.6. Been talking about that for a while in the course member live streams, the trade alerts. I've been bullish on TLT, definitely a little too early. But look at this, ever since Besant was chosen, not the election actually pushed up yields. But once Besant got chosen, you got this talking down of tariffs, which is kind of probably what someone like a Jamie Dimon would do as well, minimize some of those tariff threats. What you actually end up getting is lower yields. And that's exactly what we're seeing. Look at this. The 10-year's under 4.2 again. If I go to the 2-year treasury right now, I actually see the 2-year we're only 2 basis points uninverted right now, which isn't great. It creates risk because usually when we get a spike up in some kind of shock, that's when a recession hits, 50 to 90 basis points. But this is a great partnership. I'm giddy about this partnership. And it's not to be political and try to say like, oh yay, MAGA, Republican, whatever. It's just honestly, this is really an economically good thing. This is a great choice. And so I'm very, very happy to see somebody logical and reasonable out of the political sphere, without the limitations of the political sphere, advising Donald Trump. Donald Trump is surrounding himself with smart people, and I ship it. And this is exactly why I want to make sure that you can help learn how to emulate Donald Trump in real estate, branding, marketing, you name it. Learn everything from me in the Trumponomics course. Go to meetkevin.com. It's Black Friday. Enjoy. Thanks so much for watching, folks. Goodbye and good luck.
Why not advertise these things that you told us here? I feel like nobody else knows about this.
We'll try a little advertising and see how it goes.
Congratulations, man. You have done so much. People love you. People look up to you.
Kevin Paffrath there, financial analyst and YouTuber. Meet Kevin. Always great to get your take.